time for final thoughts. Another day, another condescending leftist telling you how to think, feel, and act. This time, it's Michelle Obama reminding the ladies that she knows what's best for us because apparently we're not smart enough or independent enough to form an original thought. Thanks, Michelle. So what tidbit of verbal diarrhea did she spew this time? Well, Mrs. Obama said, and I quote, "Any woman who voted against Hillary Clinton voted against their own voice." Really, Michelle? Or did we choose secure borders, personal responsibility, a strong military, tax reform, smaller government, Obamacare repeal, and economic growth? See, that's what I voted for. I didn't vote for an email deleting, influence selling, accountability lacking pantsuit of lies. You're dang right I voted against Hillary Clinton. And the fact Mrs. Obama thinks that makes me less of a woman tells you everything you need to know about the left. No, Michelle, as a woman, I did not want the first female president to be Hillary Clinton, and for good reason. I also didn't want another 4 years of your husband's failed legacy. Oh, and trust me, I didn't lose my voice. You're going to hear my voice loud and clear. How dare you diminish and degrade my vote? How dare you look down on Trump-supporting women? You know, contrary to the left's popular belief, you don't have to march in the streets with female genitalia on your head to have a voice. See, millions of women made a different march. A march into the voting booth to vote for our interests, our country, and Donald J. Trump. Those are my final thoughts, Michelle. I hope you heard my voice and you'll remember it next time you talk down to free-thinking, Trump-supporting, America-loving women. From New York City, God bless and take care.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama scolding female Trump supporters in front of an audience at a business conference yesterday, saying, quote, "Any woman who voted against Hillary Clinton voted against their own voice." What does it mean for us as women that we look at those two candidates and many of us said, that guy, he's better for me. His voice is more true to me? Well, to me, that just says you don't like your voice. You like the thing you're told to like.
Ooh.
Isn't she telling people who to like? Huh. And Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg also discussing the topic of Hillary Clinton's failed presidential campaign yesterday. Listen to this.
You think sexism played a role in that campaign?
Do I think so?
Yes.
I have no doubt that it did.
Yeah. Do you think it was decisive?
That it was
decisive. In other words, if Hillary Clinton had been a man, she would have won that election going away.
There's so many things that might have been decisive, but that was a major factor.
Oh, I wonder what she's basing that on, Harris.
You know, I mean, this is a candidate who had the women's card. She tried to form a women's movement. She held women's events. I mean, I think she played that card pretty heavily. I think what the nation, though, was waiting for was an economic message. They were waiting for a few other things to come out of a woman's mouth or a man's mouth, and she didn't hit those.
But isn't that a viable thing to voice your opinion and your disdain for the political system? Is that economic hole that's unfortunately undulating in so many people's lives? Isn't that a valid reason to vote for someone you're hoping your station improves?
Yeah, look, absolutely. The Democrats were successfully able to rally people around Barack Obama as an African American. I think that they really were able to use that and thought that they could do that in the same way with a woman. The problem is, President Obama was actually a really good candidate. Yeah, and he was a charismatic guy who could get out there and give a speech.
Well,
and you were excited by him. And I'll tell you, women would be excited by the right woman, but she needs to deliver a message that resonates to women. She didn't. She came across as not caring, as better than them, and that didn't work. Ultimately,
and she didn't have a solid message, and that's something that many people in her inner circle have echoed.
And I think Democrats,
one message.
Yeah, I think Democrats were shocked about this because I got to be honest, traditionally, when they use identity politics, it traditionally works. The difference from this election is when you have people that are living paycheck to paycheck and their kids' education suck and they're tired of the border being out of control and you're putting illegal immigrants before American citizens, and they don't care about the way they look. They want someone to solve their problems. Yeah. And so this election, it just wouldn't work. The problems outweighed their identity.
Yeah, but if you had a woman that came along, Sandra, and said, I have the economic solutions for you.
Right.
I understand how difficult it is. I know. I mean, a lot of women are the CFOs of their family, right? They're
She did, and Elizabeth Warren and
bills.
Bernie Sanders actually garnered a lot of attention during the presidential cycle because they had an economic message that Hillary Clinton tried to distance herself from.
She did not get that down. And then I'll remind everybody the track record of Ruth Bader Ginsburg during the campaign, openly criticizing Donald Trump while he was still a candidate, saying she can't imagine what the country would be with Donald Trump as our president. And then just as recently as last week, she described herself as a flaming female litigator. I don't know if you saw that one.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Make what you will of it.
She's a lawyer, and she's a lady, and she has lady parts that are on fire.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
I believe that's what she's saying. I am able to translate from Bader Ginsburg to English, and that is, in fact, what that means.
Don't put the camera back on.
I just remember, Trish, when the two blue pantsuit wearing women walked on stage.
Yeah.
And I do the color wheel, so I'm all sorts of respect when things go wrong and you only packed one suit in your luggage.
Right.
But I questioned even that day if this wasn't one woman maybe, I don't know, taking a little power from another woman. Remember, Elizabeth Warren, love or hate the message, had a message about the economy and about the middle class, and that was something that Hillary Clinton didn't have. Yeah. So why not invite that person
and by
onto
the way,
campaign trail?
that economic message is ringing true in Venezuela.
Yeah.
You're saying something very interesting, though. You're talking about one female politician trying to steal the thunder.
I'm not saying which one. I'm just saying it's possible.
It is possible, but, look, Hillary Clinton made her own decision. She should have taken some advice from her husband, who is a gifted politician and understood the economic challenges facing everybody.
She made it about her.
Paycheck to paycheck. I go back to that hourglass
She felt that was
economy,
incredibly paternalistic of her husband to be telling her what's right.
Yeah, it was all about, I'm with her, not with you.
Yeah.
And when you don't make it about the people that are suffering, they're not going to vote for you. It's simple.
And then you have to write books called What Happened? All right.
A lot to unravel there. Here to react, our panel of politically active moms. So thrilled to have all of you here. Different backgrounds, different perspectives, and most importantly, all moms. Just quickly, can any of you raise your hand that voted for President Trump? Oh, a few of you. Okay, Kim, I'll start with you. You're a mother of one. Do you feel like that vote was against your own voice?
I'm a political consultant, and I tell every single woman that I work with, if you're running because you're a woman, you're going to lose. And I tell every guy that I work with, if you're running against a woman, that it's equally as loony to try to portray them on that. The bottom line is it's the issues. I'm a mom, but I'm also a business owner. I'm a Republican, but I have lots of interest in getting my taxes cut and a better economy and good schools for my daughter. And that's what matters to me, not that there's a woman that Madeleine Albright decided to, scold women when she was helping Hillary Clinton. If anybody knows women, they realize they don't like to be scolded.
No, and they also don't like to be told what to do. That is for sure. Kathy, part of it that got me was when she says, for women who said Trump is better for me, you like the thing that you are told to like, basically saying that anyone who voted for Trump, they were told to do that.
Yeah.
What's your response?
Apparently the left still does not get it. This election has never been about ovaries. I said it then, and I continue to say it today.
Thank you.
As women, we can speak beyond our uteruses. And what this election was about then, and it continues to be about today, is what kind of America do we want? And by extension, what kind of world do we want to live in and raise up the next generation? President Trump and Hillary Clinton were offering two completely different versions of America. And just within the last 9 months, we faced some very formidable challenges, from Syria gassing its own people to North Korea's nuclear ambitions to injecting growth, porous borders, and the list goes on. And none of those issues are women issues. They are American issues, and that is how I voted.
Yeah. Keisha, I see you have a lot you want to say there.
Yes, well, first of all, I agree with Michelle Obama. I believe that having a voice is very important, and unfortunately, a lot of women do not even recognize their voice. I'm raising a daughter who's 14 years old, and if you ask her right now, what do you have? She'll say a voice. Why would any woman feel that a man who objectifies women, who says that it's okay to grab a woman by her genitalia, want that person to be their leader? So it is important. It's about equality, and females have to have the same opportunities as males. And I feel like if a president does not value a woman like he values a man, we're losing in that ability to have equal opportunity.
All right, Dr. Jeanine, I want to get you in here because you didn't support Trump necessarily, but you have an interesting perspective.
Yeah, so I'm a proud Hillary supporter, and I did not vote for Trump, but yet I see a lot of Republican women in my practice. And
what do they tell you?
What Michelle Obama was saying. They want their own voice. So they do want their own voice. They want equal pay. They want access to birth control. Many of them quietly want access to abortion, that type of thing. So I tend to agree with what Michelle Obama said, but then I see my Republican patients' point of view about how they want some things, but not other things. A lot of them are very, very, very concerned about their taxes. I tend not to be a one-issue voter, so I'm looking at the broad strokes of everything.
And I imagine they're very independent thinkers on their own. Jeanine, I want to get you in here. Interesting when you hear these comments and you think about, 8 years ago, and Michelle Obama's husband was running against Hillary Clinton at the time. I imagine at that point, who knows who she voted for, but I would guess it was for not Hillary Clinton, it was for her husband.
Oh, I'm sure she did. But listen, Abby, elections are about policies, and identity politics is always playing a role for some reason. People think that because you're black, you're supposed to vote Democrat. Because you're a woman, you're supposed to vote for a woman. It's about policies. And I think Michelle Obama has insulted over 40% of the women who did vote for President Trump. I find her comments were very condescending. Americans, women, men, we are concerned about the forgotten men and women. We want lower taxes. We want good national security, immigration reform. Those are the issues that Americans voted for in favor of President Trump.
And issues that moms, Beth, care about more than anything. They care about their kids. They care about their grandkids and their future.
Correct. And I think what's important, too, to remember is what she said. How about the hypocrisy? The left, they're always advocating for gender neutrality. And yet we're supposed to vote by gender. If you continued on and listened to what she actually spoke at the convention, she also referred to herself as the former first spouse, instead of referring to herself as the former first lady. She wanted to get it out there that, she is gender neutral and that's important, and that's going to be, so to speak, the wave of the future. And it's so hypocritical. And I think, frankly, that most women that heard her statement, they understand that this is just another hypocritical thing from the left, and it's double standard.
Becca?
Well, I admire Michelle Obama as a mom, but the days of Stalinist feminism are over, and I wouldn't presume to speak about her voice. Abby, this week, a woman graduated from the basic school at Quantico. She's the first Marine qualified to lead an infantry platoon. And
How powerful is that?
It's just so great.
Action speaks so much louder than any words ever could.
Right, and we don't know her name, and I sure don't know her voice. I would never presume to speak for that young woman, that officer's voice. And I think we should all have our own voices.
Amen. Well, I'm going to give you the last word here, Jeannie.
Yeah, well, I think we all have to take a step back and say this is Michelle Obama. Of course, she's a Democrat. She is going to say she opposes Donald Trump and that we all should. So I don't see anything shocking about what she said. I think we have to go back to the issue of policy. It has been 9 months. What policies has President Trump put forward to benefit women? That's the question, and to benefit all of us. And you can look down the line at some of these policies, including the inability of Republicans to repeal and replace Obamacare, has a huge impact on women. And so there is a policy perspective here that we have to look at, and that's missing when we have conversations. And that's why I didn't want Michelle Obama to come out, because it clouds a really important message about policy, because she's so close, obviously, to the Democratic Party.
Well, some great opinions here. I think everyone agrees, regardless of your background, that policy is most important, far more important than politics will ever be. Ladies, thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you, and God bless America.